Well. Hello and good morning. Welcome to Reinvention Saturdays. Today, Reinvention is on the road. I am out here in Naivasha. We've been here for the last 3 days with my business partner, just really working with the senior management and all the leaders in this resort out here in Naivasha. It's been a great time. It's been a great time of learning and growing and developing for the team. Massive changes, journey that started a while back, and just excited to see what's happening. And today my focus is on you. Although I'm on the road, I'm ready to serve you and to meet you where you are. This next 30 minutes is about fighting for your dreams. The next 30 minutes is about declaring the intention that you have to be more, to do more, and to have more, and to align your steps to create the income and the impact that you know is possible through you. Welcome for those of you who are coming for the very first time. My name is Benjamin Kamoye. I'm gifted as a creative communicator, and I use those skills as a coach, as a speaker, as a trainer. My mission in life is to raise a generation of leaders whose power and influence in the marketplace comes from a relationship with God. I am very excited about this moment that we have together. In the last couple of weeks, we've been really spending time talking about your identity, your assignment, and impact. The three main pillars that I believe are one of the main identifying factors when people ask you the question, "Who are you?" And when people ask you the question, "Who are you?" the answer is not what it is that you do. The answer is the identity, who you are, created as a concept in the mind of God, why you're here on earth, which is your assignment, and then eventually the impact that you desire to have. Today, I want us to dive into the concept of vision. Today, I want us to dive into the concept of vision. And the topic today is vision. Publish or perish. Publish or perish. In my time of learning and understanding the process through which we create results as human beings, I have come to understand very clearly that one of the main things that differentiates those who succeed in life and those who don't, to a large extent, the main differentiator is in their ability to articulate a vision of a desired future in whatever area. If you think about the money that you want to have, if you think about the impact that you want to create, you've got to have a clear mental picture for that. And that mental picture is what we're calling vision. I don't know about you, but like me, the very first instance I had about the word vision, it was in an organizational corporate setup. And so I noticed and I began to associate vision with organizations and with corporations. I had never really gotten into the introduction that I can have a vision as an individual, that I can establish my vision statement, my purpose statement. I can establish my own values as an individual. I had never seen myself in that way. And now more than ever, in this season that we're living in right now more than ever, individuals must articulate who they are, what they're about, and the meaning and difference that they want to live here on earth. And that's where the visioning aspect comes in. Now, if this makes you cop out, hold on, let me break it down for you. What is a vision? Very simply said, a vision is a mental picture. A vision is a mental picture of a desired future state. A vision is a mental picture of a future desired state. And that's why we use the word vision, because you see it, but you don't see it with your physical eyes, the ones that you're looking at me with. You see it with your mind's eye. You see it with your mind's eye. And for those of you who've been following me for a while now, I did talk about the 6 powers of man, the 6 intellectual faculties. And we talked about one of those powers as the power of imagination. And the power of imagination is the faculty of our mind to travel into the future and see images and see that place that we want to be, and then come back into the present and write that down and put it down clearly. The topic today is vision. You either publish or perish. Where there is no vision, the people perish. And if you look at areas of your life where you're not getting the kind of impact you should be getting, if you're not reaching the income levels you should be reaching, and you do not have a plan to get to that place, a lot of times the perishing is because you've not articulated a vision. Now, I know most of the people on this call today, you've had some time to really think about, what if? What if my future was like this? What if this was actually a reality? How great my life would be. What, and all that kind of stuff. But you've never taken a pen and paper to articulate it on paper and say, this is the future that I see possible for me. And I'm going to tell you again, in the process of creation, we as co-creators and our minds being the divine center of operation, it's impossible for you to create that future that you desire until you publish it, until you write it down on paper. Because think about it this way. I could come up here right now and just tell you, I've got these big ideas. This is what I want to have in my life. I think this is going to be a reality. I see myself in this place. End of the story. What is that? It is still an idea, a puffy thing that's out there into the clouds, an idea. It does not have the slightest representation in the physical world. But the moment I take out a pen and a paper and I begin to write down, this is the dream that I have, this is the next step in my journey, this is what I see that's coming for me, I see the future possibilities in my relationships, in the 5 domains of life. Now you have physical evidence. Now you have a piece of paper. You have something that is a physical representation of that idea. And this is why if you don't publish, you perish, because it will not come to pass. There are so many ideas that are floating out here, and we are able to tap into them with our mental faculties. Remember, we talked about it in another space, that the mind is a broadcasting station, and you're able to receive signals of a desired future state. You say, I normally see myself in this sense. I normally see myself here in this future. And my goal in today's session is to have you take time to dream. Take time to write out your vision. Take time to write it out. Take time to write down, how much money do you want to earn? How much money do you want to earn? And once you write it down, you've got the first piece of evidence, a number on a piece of paper. You've got a number down and you're like, this is the number. This is the number. This is the amount that I want to earn. And the moment that you've published that, it communicates to God your intention, and he channels resources, causing all things to conspire for your win. That's it. That's the process of creation. That's the process of creation. It's not rocket science. It's that simple. That you've got to be able to write it down. Write down the vision. And my question for you is this. I know you've got areas that you desire to see more in your life, in your relationships, in your finances, in your career, in your wellness, in your spirituality, in your health and fitness. Do you have a written statement articulating that which you desire in that area of your life? Do you have it? Because if you don't, it will not come to pass. It shall not come to pass. Matter of fact, the scriptures command us in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2, write the vision down plainly on tablets, so that the runner who finds it may run with it. Now, my challenge for you today is to identify in these 5 domains of life that I like to talk about in the holistic reinvention blueprint. What is it that I want in my finances? Put that number down and visualize and imagine and see yourself in that future. Write it down. when you go into the area of your physical health, your spiritual health, your mental and personal growth, write it down, my friend. Write it down. Do you know the first question I ask people when they come to me for their coaching journey? What do you want to achieve? It's the first question. I mean, why would you come to a coach unless you wanted an outcome? And normally that's the first question that I'm going to ask you. Even today on this call, I'm asking you, what do you want to achieve? And if you haven't done that, I'm going to send you on an assignment. And I'm going to send you on an assignment. And the assignment that I normally send my clients onto is an assignment that, has them visualize what they want. I tell them to go into the future. I tell them to go as far as you want. Go into next year. Go into 5 years from now, and see yourself in that space. See yourself on any random Tuesday waking up. And I want you to do this with me right now. On any random Tuesday you've woken up. On any random Tuesday you've woken up and you're living in this neighborhood. Where is that? Do you see that? On any random Tuesday you've woken up and you've just peeped through the window and saw that the previous night it rained. And through the parking, through the bedroom window, you see your garage. You've parked a couple of cars there. What colors are those cars? Can you see the cars? What colors are they? Can you see them? All right, you close the window to your bedroom and you get into the shower. You take a shower and you jump out and you open the drawer and you find, wow, this is my favorite suit, and you put it on. And then you go into the breakfast area and find your family is there waiting for you. They're having breakfast. When you see around the table, how many children do you have? How many are boys? How many are girls? And your spouse tells you, hey, thank you so much. We already finished our breakfast. We're running to school. We'll see you later. And then you quickly jump out and they head out the door. And you're sitting by yourself and you're just having your breakfast and feeling so grateful. Feeling so grateful for the accomplishments that you've had in life, the impact that you're having, the income that you're having. Can you experience that emotion? Just the gratitude, the happiness, the love that surrounds you. And even as you are done with your breakfast and you head out and you get into your car and you start the engine, and you can see the rays of the sun hitting the dashboard, and you switch on the radio and you're playing your favorite music, and you're just waiting for the engine to warm up and you're holding the steering wheel. And the logo of any car is normally on the steering wheel. What is the logo on this car? What make is it? Can you see it? Right, you can see it. And just shortly, you just start driving out of your compound, out of your parking, and there you go. The gate is opened, and you're driving down in this windy area, leaves just passing behind you as you drive on this well-tarmacked road, and you're driving. And I want you to pause there for a moment, because your neighbor just hooted at you. Pop, pop, they're coming back home. Where is this neighborhood? Where do you live? Write that down for me. And immediately after that, you drive in and you get into your workplace, you park into the basement, and you come out and you grab your bags and you get into the lift and you press the floor. What floor is that you pressed? And you go into the lift and up it goes and up it goes. And you just get into the office and you're heading straight to the door that is where you sit. But wait a minute, there's a title on the door. There's a title on the door. What's the title on that door? Write that down for me as well. And as soon as you're done through that title, you get into the office and you put all your things on the table, your notebooks, your bag, the newspaper, and then immediately you took out your phone, you look at your phone and you see there are 2 missed calls. These are the most important people in your life at that point. These are the most important people in your life at that point. You just missed their calls. Who are these people? Write their names down. And you just be like, okay, I'm going to call them later. You push your phone aside and then you start just thumbing through the newspaper. You're opening the newspaper, page 1, and you see the headlines. Oh, page 2, page 3. Oh, that's what's happening. And then, wow, on page 5, right at the bottom corner, page 5 on the top, on the bottom right corner of that newspaper, there is your photo. There's something in the news about you, and there's a headline in that section. Can you see? Can you see it? What does the headline read? Write that down for me. Write that down for me. I want to pause there right now. Because what I just did is I took you on a tour that's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 10 years from now. And you have seen every scene of your life as I have told you. I didn't create that. And if I was to ask all of you to right now type into the chat the different answers to the questions I asked, the colors of your cars, would you do that right now? Would you do that right now? Go into the chat and let's turn this idea from just some puffy cloud in your mind into its physical reality. Let's do that right now. Type in your chat right now. What are the colors of the cars that you saw in your garage? I want to look at the chat right now. I see you, Judy. I see you, Wims and Zena. I see you. Let's go into the chat. Let's go into the chat right now. Let's work with me. Work with me in the process of publishing that vision that you've seen. Go with me there. Let me see them. Let me see them coming up. Yeah. Type into the chat. What colors did you see? What colors did you see? And while you're there in the chat as well, just tell me, what brand of car, what make of the car was it? While you're there, tell me the number of children that you had, that you see. Share that. Share that. Yeah. Share that. Type it into the chat. I'm going to share mine very quickly. I've got 3 cars in my parking. I normally see these 3 colors. I normally see metallic blue, green, and red. What do you see? Love to hear from you. Let me share with you something else that I normally see. Yeah, that's what I see. Yeah, and that's what I see. So the Range Rover is metallic blue. The Land Rover 110 is green. I love the old one. Yeah, I'm just kind of, so much into that. Yeah, I see that. So great stuff, Wims. Thanks for playing full out and playing along. I saw a maroon BMW, a black Range Rover Sport, and a silver Subaru Sporty car. I love that. Thank you so much for participating. What do the rest of you see? What do the rest of you see? Would love to hear from you. Let me share a little bit more. I already have 4 children, and I mean, I'm talking to you about that today. And this is an interesting thing. When my wife and I were talking about how many children we're going to have, we talked about 3. But every time I did this visioning exercise, I would see 4 people around the dining table. Isn't that crazy? And we just had a baby, a daughter born, 2 weeks ago. We've got 4 kids now. My wife and I have got 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. Amazing, amazing. The eldest is 9 and the youngest is 2 weeks old. But I've always seen this. And if you ask me about where I live right now, I saw this in my mind's eye. I saw the kind of car I drive now in my mind's eye. I saw the setup of our house in my mind's eye. I mean, all this is processing internally. And maybe the reason why you have what you don't have in your life, do you know it's possible to actually have what you don't want? But why you have it is because that's all you think about. It's because you think about what you don't want so much that all your energy is focused on that. And you know how the subconscious mind works. It does not know how to reject an order. It does not know that you're saying do not create. It deletes the words do not. Not is deleted. And the message it gets is do create. Do create. We do not create by negating. We create by contributing. We do not create by negating. We don't create by negating. You can't say, no, I don't want that. That's not the creation process. And so if you're spending a lot of time defining what you don't want, you're getting it. Oh, you're getting it. But if you're spending time defining what you want, you're getting it. You're getting it. And I share this with you so that you can understand the creation process and the idea of why are visions important? Why are visions important? Why is it that I should define my vision? Why is it that I must write down whatever it is that I want? Why? What's the reason for that? Why should I do that? And that's what I'm teaching you here today, that you've got to articulate your vision. You've got to write it down. You've got to publish it, or you will perish. Publish it, or you will perish. Now, I'm inviting you to share with me how I can support you in the process of publishing your vision, in the process of defining what it is that you want. Send an email to me to reinvention@kamoya.com. Reinvention@kamoya.com. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out to you, and I'm going to invite you into a time, like I'm meeting a group of people that signed up for a 90-minute teaching call, me chatting with them, teaching them certain things and answering their questions. We'll actually be talking about the differentiator. And if you're not on that call, look out for the next email, because I think probably that boat has already sailed, just for you to really begin to get into the process of articulating and defining your vision. I can tell you that in my journey of creating the outcomes that I have right now, there is no other requirement to qualify yourself for what it is that you want than to articulate, write it down, and publish it and put it up. It's the first, I have shared with you, it's the first evidence of that dream that you have. It's the first physical evidence. It's the first physical evidence. You want to touch a physical car? You want to touch physical money? You want to sit in your physical house? The first evidence that this idea has been received from the spiritual into the intellectual and now in the physical is a written plan, a published idea, a document that outlines and says, this is what I want to see. And if I may take you to the next step, every time I told you to think about a car, you did not see the word CAR. In other words, what you actually experienced was you experienced a picture. When I talked to you about the window, that was a picture. When I talked to you about, meeting your family at the dining table, that was a picture. Driving down and your friend is passing you, it's a picture. You even saw the color of your friend, your neighbor's car and the make of it. When they hooted at you, you can see the green leaves. I didn't talk about that, but you saw it in your vision. And why I'm sharing this with you is so that you can really articulate in very clear detail what you see. And if you don't have the ability to sketch or to draw or to be an artist, go on Google, find images that resonate with what you see, and turn that idea into its physical equivalent and put it up on your wall. The moment you begin to see that again and again and again, now you're having a memory of a future that you've not gotten into. What that does, it sends work orders into your subconscious mind saying, that's what you ought to create. And the mind is a broadcasting station, and it broadcasts to God. What is prayer? Prayer is when we close our eyes and we say, God, this is what I want. And what does God say back to us? He does not look anywhere else. He looks at the heart of man. He does not look at the outward appearance. He does not even, the words that you're speaking so much are not as important as the condition of your heart, as what is coming from your heart. Guard your heart. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flow the issues of life. And God is looking at your heart. And every time you're sitting somewhere, Though you may not be folding your hands to say, it's time for me, I'm praying, there's already a prayer that you're making just through the meditations of your heart. And heart is not this pump, which is, pumping blood through your body onto your system. Your heart is who you are. Yeah. Your heart is who you are. Your heart is the core of your soul and spirit. That's who you are. Beyond this physical body and the pump and the veins and the vessels. That's who you are, a concept that is known by God. And when every time you're just sitting quietly, there is what you are communicating. There is what you are transmitting as the desires of your heart. And if you've got enough time that has been invested in seeing this image and seeing it in front of you every single day and constantly reinforcing that idea in your mind and not what you don't want. Don't talk about, I don't want this to happen and I don't want this to happen and I don't want this to happen. We're not giving life to what we don't want. We're giving life to what we want. We're giving life to it by seeing it, articulating it, and even going a step further and putting images that will help you strengthen that image in your mind again and again and again, and creating that memory and communicating to God that this is my desire. And He's the one who works in you both to will and to do. And you begin to see connections are happening. Things are popping up left, right, and center. And the impact that you desired, you're beginning to move closer to it. And as you work with me, because I'm masterful at understanding the creation process, I guide you into how should you be thinking, because there are thoughts that guarantee success and there are thoughts that guarantee failure. You think this way, for sure, you shall perish. If you think this way, for sure, you shall realize your vision. Failure and success are both processes. They're both roads. They're both roads. And the way you think could either create success or it could create failure. And so the idea is, how do you get into that path? You need a guide. You need a guide. And so thank you for tuning in today for Reinvention Saturdays, because today is about helping you really tune into what is it that I want to have as impact and income, and how do I get there? That's the purpose of these 30 minutes, is to fight for your dream. Is to fight for what you know could be possible through you and for you. So reach out to me, reinvention@kamoya.com. I want to help you. I want to find you where you are. Write to me, talk to me about where you are, what it is that you seek to see. I'm going to write back to you. I'm going to start a conversation about how you can create the impact and the income that's required. What does that reinvention journey look like? I believe in your dream, and I believe that you're fully resourced to manifest it out into the world. But the process is something that we're not always clear, and we need support. I have support. I'm building big dreams, and I've got coaches and I've got mentors in my life. Who's on your team? Who's your partner in belief? Who's there in your corner and who knows for 100% that this is possible? And they stand there with you as a partner in belief, as a partner in faith, to see this thing come through. Who do you have there in your corner? Who do you have there in your corner? Let's begin by articulating your vision, articulating what you want. And then once you see it, write it down. Once you've written it down, pick up some images on Google, find everything that is the closest representation to what you want. If you see yourself having 10 dogs, find those dogs and how they look like and put them in that paper and stick them there, and find the other images. This is a car you want, find that image, put it there. This is a house you want, find that image, put it down. You've seen the kind of income you're having, good. You've seen your kind of family, good, put it there. You've seen the girls and you know their names, and the boys, you write it there. Write it there. See that vision. Publish it. I can tell you, the road to get there will be worth it. That's what I'm going to tell you. The road to get there will be worth it. But if you do not publish that vision, you will perish. And I didn't say that. It's a principle. Principles are few, and they hold up. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Reinvention Saturdays has been on the road. I'm out here in Naivasha taking this call from my room, but always delighted to come alongside you and serve you in your leadership development journey. Thank you so much. And Wims, appreciate you typing into the chat. I see you. Appreciate you playing full out, and welcome you all to like this video and let it pass out to other people. Share it with them. Share it with them and let them grow and develop. Don't grow alone. Let them grow and develop. Again, thank you. It's a minute past 10 o'clock. We normally just need 30 minutes of your time. I'm looking forward to meeting those of you that have signed up for my 19-minute free teaching call coming up at 11:30. I'm going to be here and I'm coming to you live. I look forward to seeing you there. If you haven't signed up, hey, just send an email at reinvention@kamoe. We're going to put you in line for the next call. Blessings, be well, and bye for now.